Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are going to continue painting that massive dragon that we started on. But before we get into it, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Artis Opus. So thank you very much to Artis Opus for sponsoring this, and keep your eyes peeled in the future for some awesome giveaways that we're going to do together. Let's crack on with it. Okay, so what we're going to do, I think, is add a little bit more colour to this thing. So, when we finished last time, we got a good amount of the purple onto the dragon, and we also did this kind of bluey, turquoisey, whitey sort of streak down the back, which I think we're probably going to add a bit more to and play with that a bit. Maybe make the kind of turquoisey, bluey colour a bit more vibrant, bring it out a bit more, which would be nice and easy to do. But I wanted to try and add a little bit of something a bit lighter, something kind of a bit richer in terms of maybe a bit of pink or something. So we dabbled a little bit with adding some lighter colour onto the scales around the side there, and I think what we'll do is we will still do that, but we'll add a bit of pink in and see if that brings out just a bit of brightness, just a bit of extra colour around there. So we'll start out by doing that. So I say pink. It's technically Warlord Purple from Vallejo, but it has quite a nice. Well, it feels like it's closer to pink than purple. I guess like a rich magenta might be the way to put it. So, just stick a tiny bit just there. Just a wee blob. And we will give this a little poke and see what it's like. Now, I've experimented a bit with the microphone position on this one, so my breathing isn't quite as bad, although if it gets super hot again, then there's not a huge amount I can do about it. Okay, so okay, get most of that off there. That looks like it's a decent amount. And I'm just going to sort of stipple it on and just see if it brings it out a little bit. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go, that's it. Yeah, it just lightens it up that little bit. Okay, that's definitely the way to go. I'm like that already. I'm liking that already. I'll just get a bit of water on the brush, pick up a bit more. Don't know, go too over the top. Add it a little bit more. Yeah, that actually does make a fair bit of difference, doesn't it? Just lightens it up. If I can get a bit in there. Just work it up. Yeah, okay, I think that's a decent call right there. I think that's a decent call. I'm going to get a little bit more on the brush. I just did a tiny amount just to make sure that it was worth pursuing, and I think it is. So let's get rid of most of that. And I think we will try dabbing it in different places and see how we go. So we've got that strip down the back and down the tail, so I think if I just add a little bit, not quite joining up, but almost joining, just to provide a bit of extra contrast down the back there. Yeah. Yep, okay, I'm happy with that. I think that works pretty well. Gonna add a little bit more there, just to bring out a bit more, and then a little bit more down that back bit there, really bring it out. I'm not being super precise because one of the great benefits of this is the fact that you can just go back and try it again and again and kind of go over the bits that you did the first time that you don't like, and you're putting so little actual paint on that you can kind of mess with it as much as you want without really affecting anything. You don't lose any detail or anything because it's just a very light coat. And I'm being pretty rough, but mostly because I don't need to be massively precise here. Okay. I don't know if this actually shook up all that well, actually, this paint. I don't think it did. I might have to go back and shake it up again and get a bit more on the palette, but we'll see. So there's going to be a leg there in that gap, as you can see. But that's fine. We can get a bit down in the bottom there. Just get. Of course, some bits I haven't quite finished getting the purple on, so There we go. Yeah, no, that's... I think that's worth doing, that, actually. I think that adds quite a bit. So something that I will be doing is there's a lot of kind of extra detail on this model that I'm going to have to get a smaller brush to go in there. Or just not hold the dragon at such a daft angle, that might help too. Yeah, there's a bit of purple down that back end of the tail that I'll need to sort. But if I remember correctly, that's all one part, so there wasn't a huge amount I could do about that. I don't think I could do anything in the way of sub-assembly for that section. I've obviously left one of the legs off, and I've left the wings off to make those easier to paint. And we'll tackle those soon as well. Probably tackle those next week. I just want to get a bit more colour on the main body first. Have a good idea of what I'm doing with this before I start the wings. So yeah, I think that has already brought that out quite nicely. So you'll note we've got all these little bits of use a smaller end to point out. We've got all like these little strips of flesh and stuff going down here, which I'm hoping to still use the Series D for. I'm hoping to use a very small brush to probably do a bit of either some white, or I'm kind of tempted to try a bit of green, but I don't know how that'll look. That'll be a definite experimentation. So I've got a nice white from scale 75, which looks good. In fact, I used that on this guy's hair, and it came out really well. That was just using, again, the Series D stuff. I just dry brushed that onto the hair, and that came out nicely. So I'm kind of tempted to try something similar, but I don't know whether that would be too light or whether that would fit the rest of the dragon. So I'm not 100% sure on where to go with that, if I'm honest. But nice thing is you can just experiment and mess about and see what you like. So yeah, as you'll have seen from the very intro to this video, Artis Opus is very kindly sponsoring this series of videos now, which, I mean, to be honest, you can't really ask for a better match, because I'm using the brushes anyway. It's like literally get a bit more on there, it's a bit damper there, but that's fine because I want a bit more colour saturation on that bit. Yeah, so they're sponsoring this, which is amazing, because I'm using the brushes anyway. You can tell from how much stuff I've posted recently, how much I'm enjoying using, especially the Series D. Like even now, I know I've had them for quite a bit now, but I'm still using them on a daily basis. Like I can't get enough of using this technique, and started to apply it to other smaller models, which I'm sure you'd have seen on like Twitter or the channel, like the community feed. But like everything on this guy has been done using the Series D stuff. It's obviously nowhere near finished, but kind of applying that similar technique to other models. It's probably got me back to enjoying painting again, which I was starting to get kind of a bit, not worried, but like it wasn't doing it for me the way it used to. And sometimes a change is as good as a rest. Sometimes you just need something fresh and new to bring it back to what it was that you remember enjoying. And yeah, these brushes have definitely done that for me, and the technique that comes with them, it's made me tackle this thing. And frankly, this would have been far too intimidating not all that long ago, because, well, look at it. But yeah. Okay, so that pink, I think, has added quite a bit. I think I would like to get a bit more blue just down the sides there, just to kind of blend it a little bit more. Which I will use that brush for. I just want to go down like the very side of it. So we'll do that quickly, because we've got this leg to do as well. So we went down there. We've got this leg to go down as well. I'm thinking I'll do a bit of pink just on the underside, and I don't think we're going to do that pattern all the way down the leg. I think it's only going to go down to the knee. I think that'll look cool, because then I can do something similar with like pink and purple down that side. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's try that. First of all, I'll just give this one a quick rinse so it doesn't end up getting like completely clogged. Although I say that, I've yet to have that happen. I've been very good about looking after these brushes, to be honest, but I have had the occasional moment where I've gone, oh, I forgot to clean one of them, I used all 4 and I only cleaned 3, and then in the morning I've gone to sort the brush out and they've recovered super, super well, and there's been like no lasting impact on them at all. There we go. I mean, I'm doing that on my hand to make sure that there's no pigment left, and there's nothing. They properly take a beating, these things, and they just don't care. They just keep going. It's it's good, especially if you're forgetful like me. Now, do I want to use that one? That'll be fine for there. Is that going to be a bit too much? Or do I go for the light? I'm going to go for the smaller one. Not the lighter one, the smaller one. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go for the smaller. Oh, I've unaligned myself by accident. There we go. So yeah, I'm trying to... I've moved the microphone a little bit, trying to improve it so you don't get quite as much of my over-the-top breathing. Right, shake it up. God! Shake it off. There we go. If you shake it off, it means you've shaken it too much. Get a little bit on there. Just a tiny blob. Tiny, tiny. There we go. I'm currently listening to... what am I listening to? What is this? Diabolus in Musica, because they've got a new album out. I like them, they're cool. Weird, but cool. Okay, let's get most of that off. And then I'm just going to very roughly just go down there. Maybe not that callously, actually. Let's just... Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go, that's more like it. Just get that bit of extra colour off to the side. Just lightens it up that bit. Well, that's not true. Doesn't necessarily lighten it up, just brings more of the blue to the fore, which is what I'm after. Just... And you can, I think you can, yeah, you can see it's just bringing it out that little bit extra. And it's just round to the side there that I want to do it. And then match it on the other side. So you can see there's now a clearer strip of blue along there. I just want to replicate that on that side now. So I'm just adding that a little bit over. Being surprisingly efficient with what's on the brush, and having to just get that little bit extra. Okay, there we go. So it's almost like it's a clearer divide, but it's still... I'm really not getting enough. I'm being overly cautious, which is unnecessary really, because as I say, you can just go back and fix it if you mess it up. There we go. Just... It's still like... It's not a hard line. You've still got a blend there, but it's just a little bit more... I think I'll have to go over it a little bit with the ice yellow as well, looking at it. Just to bring it in line with the other side. So... Sorry, it's been a week since I last recorded painting, so I keep moving the model outside the camera. So I'm just doing like little circular kind of stippling motions to get the colour. I'm trying not to, like... I am hitting the same spot twice, but I'm trying to make it so that it's not like a constant, if that makes sense. Yeah, so there you go. can see that there's definitely an increase in the blue on either side, and you just need to balance that out there. Make that a bit lighter there. And then some parts of this I'm going to have to go over with the ice yellow. In fact, I might go over both, but just do it more lightly on one side than the other. So just get that bit there. Okay, I've got a really weird and bad habit of holding my breath whilst I whilst I do this. It's not great. I don't know why I do it. I think I'm still in that mindset of, oh, got to be super careful. Got to be really careful with what I do here. But actually, you don't. It's one of the things I like so much about it. It's like, oh, that didn't go great. Okay. And 30 seconds later, oh, I fixed it. It's really not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Of course, it is nice if you can get it right first time. But that applies to everything, doesn't it? Okay, just get a bit more of this. This is rapidly my favourite colour, this Huldra blue. So the base for this is obviously that Warlord purple. Sorry, no, not Warlord purple. Hey, the base is Hex Lichen, and then all of the blue and sort of ice yellow is built up off Huldra blue. But Huldra blue is super versatile and works for purples and greens. I've not tried it for reds yet, but I don't know if it'll work for reds. I'm willing to try it, but the skin on this orc was also built up from Huldra blue. So the way that I did this orc probably doesn't look like it's going to make any sense, because it was Huldra blue, then it was part green, and then it was lime green, which next to each other, it doesn't look like a great combination, to be fair, but I just did a coat of Huldra, then I did a coat of Park, and then I did a coat of Lime, and it's come out pretty well, I think. So yeah, this is my new favourite paint. I mean, it's a close tie between that and Ice Yellow, because Ice Yellow is a miracle paint and just makes everything look better. Don't like how something looks? Put a bit of Ice Yellow over the top, and you'll instantly like it more. Okay, get rid of most of that, and then let's see, it's sort of on the top, kind of the top there, so get a decent, again, very not at all bothering to be massively careful with it, because there's going to be, you know, a bit of Warlord purple, there's going to be a bit of Hex Lichen we can put around the sides of it to properly clean it up if we need. Do another quick second layer on top of that one, just to build it up. I'm going to put a little bit more just on the top there. I'm still finding it a little bit not tricky to work with. I don't think that's the right way to put it, but I sometimes find that it tends to. It doesn't go quite as far as you think it will sometimes. Like what you've got on your brush, and even reactivating the pigment, you can sometimes do with a second dip so far, from what I've experienced myself. So yeah, we've got that kind of darker base colour there, which you can see we did from there to there on that leg. So given that leg is up, I think this will match it. It's just slightly different because the angle of the leg's different. So yeah, now we've got that nice base down. Can do a bit of that nice blue again. What is the blue that I built up from there? What's it called again? Adriatic blue, that's it. I'll be honest, there's a whole new world of paints for me as well, along with these brushes, because I'm still... I'm still coming off the idea of only really using Games Workshop stuff, just because that's what I've always used, you know. I've always used Games Workshop, and so it's kind of takes a little bit of concentration to suddenly think to yourself, oh yeah, I know, there's a whole other world of paints here. So it's fine. Right, so okay, let's get some of this on the go. Do a nice big blob. And then I'm just going to, oh, pardon you, microphone. Just going to very roughly get that in there. Again, a kind of circular half dry brush, half stippling motion. Get that up there. This is the thing I really like. You just don't ever lose detail. That paint was starting to dry, so I just got the last of it on the brush, and we can get the last of it by damping the brush. There we go. Get that up there. There we go. And we might need a little bit more, just a bit more saturation would be nice there actually. There we go, spread it up nicely at the top. The thing is, once we've got this on, we can do the ice yellow and then see how it looks, and if we need to build up the sides again, like we have done there, then we can do. I think we will need to for the top there. In fact, I think I just need a tiny bit more paint. Just a tiny bit more. Nothing excessive. I'm going to end up having to get more of these just because I've used them for so much. I mean, I'm using these paints for this dragon. I'm using them for this guy. I'm using them for my Emperor's Children Terminators. Like, they're getting a severe workout. But they're cool colours. It's a nice colour combination, and it feels like you get nice results pretty easily with this colour palette. You know, it's not like you're not having to kind of rack your brain and go, if I put just a little bit too much on, is that going to look right? It's all just varying levels of saturation, and it all comes out looking decent. Okay, there we go. That's nice. That'll do. So if we get the ice yellow on the go, I actually ended up signing up for Audible, because I do a lot of like either listening to music or listening to podcasts or having like compilations of stuff on in the background when I'm painting. And really, if you're going to sit down and paint for a couple of hours, if you can manage it, there's no reason why you shouldn't actually get a book on the go. Audiobooks are a mystery to me because I used to read a lot. Like, most of my free time was spent reading. But then, you know, other things arrived, and the amount of time that I have to read books is now vastly smaller than it used to be, which means I get through about one book every 6 months. So Audible, I think, might be the saviour of me there. Okay, get a bit of ice yellow. This is the real star, this is the real hero. So unassuming. This little bottle of ice yellow. It's super, there's like, for how light a colour it is, there's a ton of pigment in it, but it's not like horrible and thick or anything. It is some sort of miracle paint, because you can do a dry brush of this over literally anything, and it just looks better. I mean, again, to go back to the example of this orc, I've dry brushed his body ice yellow. I did like part of this has got like slight ice yellow on it. It just does things to models, like good things, and it's like, well, why has that worked so well? And the answer is just, it just has. Oh, I properly overloaded the brush there. Boo, I say. That was shocking. Look how much I'm getting off there. Nonsense. Okay, I'm going to brave it. Just do a little... There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. That's alright. And then we keep going up there. Do a little bit more down there. And that is fitting in quite nicely. Get that over the leg, just that bit. In fact, we can do a little bit more there too. Just kind of stipple it a bit. Do that kind of circular motion. All the way down. Get a bit on that side there. Okay, so I actually want it a bit brighter down the middle. Excuse me, microphone. Again, I need to work out a better placement for that, don't I? I'm going to have to go back over the sides a little bit because I got a bit too enthusiastic there, but it doesn't matter. Not important. Not a big deal. Okay, so I'm just going to... Oh, no, that's way too much. Okay. Just go right up there. Get right to there. And I'm just going to go back over this bit just to bring it all in line. And right on the center point of these, I'm going to go up the top there. Just going to keep brushing it down. Still using the thick, big brush. There we go, down, 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 down. A little bit more there, a little bit on the side. A little bit on the side there. A little bit on the side there. And you know what? I'm going to get a bit more. I'm loading it on pretty thick here, which I would not recommend you normally do, but I'm trying something. Because why not? Okay, and we're really going to go for it just on this section here. And see if we can't get a nice kind of deeper section on the back there. Kind of really bring out the white in that central area. All these spines. There we go. That's brought it out nicely. So I'm going to get the blue. I'm going to get the light blue and I'm just going to go back over that section again. Just pick it out that little bit more. And I think that's worked alright. I think that's worked okay. Now, I was aware last time of a desync issue, which is because when my phone gets to a half an hour long file, it it says no more. And that's it. That's your luck. You're done. It starts a new file. So I will try and avoid that issue this time round by, I think, stopping right about now and resyncing. And then that should hopefully fix that problem. And you can let me know if that resync that I just did works. If it didn't work, then that's a shame. If it did work, grand. Okay, get a bit more of that blue on there, and let's just go down that side again. Just want to bring out the blue a bit more there. And again, I'm going to use the smaller brush for this. Not the small, just the normal small. And in a way, doing it this way is a little bit backwards, because it's putting the darker colour back over the light, but it doesn't really matter. As long as the effect is still what you're after, it doesn't really matter what kind of order you do stuff in. It's all about the end result, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Let's bring that back in there. And I want that little bit just to be brought back to blue on the very edge there. And I want to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, yeah, and I definitely want to bring the blue back up on that other side. Okay, so do that bit there. Okay, just on the edge there, on the edge there, around that side. There's like a little protrusion, a little growth type thing there, which is throwing me off slightly as to where I'm headed. So get that around there. Oh, nope, that's a bit too much. There we go. Just tidy that up. There we go. And I think I want to separate that out a little bit, actually. And I think I want to go down there again. You know what? I did say when we started doing this model that there would be a lot of just experimentation and trying stuff and just seeing how things looked, and that has not changed, apparently. That's exactly the same. I said there was going to be there, and it was going to be there, and that's what's happened. There we go. And then if we use a bit of the magenta, we can blur that back in. Although I'm wondering if to do a bit of blue sort of round. I don't know. I think I want to keep it just sort of on the top more than anything. So I think we might do a bit of magenta just there, just to blend that back in a little bit, because it goes to magenta there. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay. That top bit now needs more blue though, doesn't it? So we'll do a bit of that now whilst we've got this up and running, so to speak. Okay. Let's just get that up there. And get that up there, just like that. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do us nicely, won't it? The little spines are getting in the way, but it's fine. Right. Pretty solid. Pretty solid, I think. I think that's looking alright. I think that's looking okay. I'm just going to go down there a little bit, just... I know I am going over the same bits over and over again, but when you're just experimenting and seeing what happens, that's just one of the things that happens, isn't it? Mind you, even if you're not experimenting, you know what you're doing. You personally, I tend to do that quite a lot anyway, so that seems no different to me, really. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that so far. Let's just give this brush a quick clean, and then we can decide where we're going to move to next. Obviously, there's still lots of detail and stuff that needs to be covered, but the kind of base colours are there on that part of the dragon now, so I'm satisfied with that bit. Just to be going on with, I'm satisfied with it. Okay. We got a bit of purple up there, didn't we? We haven't got any purple on there. We haven't got any towards the head. We could do with doing up there and doing the head. That join has become even more pronounced. I mean, I green stuffed that, and that one's not too bad. That one's okay, it's passable, but that one's got super pronounced again. But I'm not really sure why. It's not like the green stuff vanished, and I did do it. Oh well. Oh well. Not much you can do about it now. I could stick a bit of green stuff around it, try and blend it a bit more, but seems like a lot of effort for something that probably no one but me will notice. And it will bug me, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit of a faff, isn't it, to fix that now. Okay, get a bit of purple on the go. And I'm going to get a nice bit of colour going up here. Again, not being particularly fragile or careful with this, just going for it. Give me a bit of... There we go. I think we'll continue the blue and white up the head, like up the neck. Well, up the middle part of the horrendous split neck. I think that's what we'll do. Seems like that'd be fun. Just get the top of his head. Okay, got a bit down there that we need to get. Probably going to have to shift down to a smaller brush to really get in like the nooks and crannies down there, but we'll see. Go. Definitely got too much on the brush again there, but whatever, it's fine. We're doing the very kind of not the base coat, but the base coat after the black base coat, so it's not the end of the world. Doing those little chains is going to be a real a real issue, isn't it? Oh boy, I hadn't really twigged that those were there, if I'm honest, but sure. It'll be fun to try and get some horrible, like, light pink going on at the edges of, like, the gums, almost. In as much as this thing has got gums, it's really pretty. It's a pretty gross model, let's be honest. It's awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit... bleh. In the best possible way. Okay. Give his head a good brush. Don't be shy, come and get your head brushed. There we go. I'm hoping that he's still in focus. I think he is. It's tricky to tell. Is that a horn or is that just his face? I think that's a horn in his face, isn't it? Questions that you don't expect to be asking on a Friday afternoon. Is that his face? Is that the guy's face, or is it just a horn on it? Is the horn his face? Is it just part of his face? Is it sticking out of his face? What is it? Okay. There we go. It's so awful though. Look at it. Get off there. Man. Totally appropriate for the day after Valentine's Day. Hello, yes. Which part of the face do you like most? Is it the first, second, or third neck that is also a mouth? Man, I've missed a trick. I should have put this video out on Friday, shouldn't I? I mean, I'm recording it Friday, but I've already got 2 videos for that day. If only one of them went up, it's because I forgot that I had 2. That'd be an interesting test, won't it, for those of you watching this? Oh, well, he said there was 2, but then only one went up. If that's true, then I done goofed. Okay, let's get that in there. Just get that a little bit more. Guy's so gross. But it's gross in the best way. It's like, it's disturbing gross. It's not just like, yeah, it's not normal gross. It's disturbing gross. And disturbing gross is exactly the right kind of gross. At least it serves a reason then. Get a bit of existential terror or something off it rather than just going, ew. Okay. There's a absolutely vile tongue that goes in it, actually. I'll just grab it so you can see. I'm looking forward to painting this. So that goes in there. I think it's like that. I'm pretty sure. Or does it go like that? No, I think it is down. Yeah, so... as if the rest of it wasn't bad enough, you got this tongue to contend with as well. With again a unnecessary amount of detail, I feel. There's just no need for it, is there? But there you go. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it properly. Okay. I think I'm not gonna do any of the blue and stuff along here, like on these bits. I think those are going to be just kind of the magenta colour and a bit of white just to bring it out. In fact, I think we should experiment with that a little bit right now. I think we should give that a try and see how it looks, because I feel like that's going to be more consistent with the rest of it if I leave that to be that kind of richer pink colour. Bit of paint shaking ASMR for you again there. Okay, so need to clean that quickly, don't we? Don't want to leave that how it is. So yeah, in the future, what we're planning to do, Artist Opus and I, is we'll do some giveaways off the back of these videos, because this is going to be like I think I said before, this is going to be like a whole series of things. So what we're planning to do is, I'll paint this, and then once I've painted this, I'll paint something else. And this will be like an ongoing kind of, not perpetual series, maybe, but we'll see. I mean, it could be. Depends on whether you guys like it or not. But we're thinking we'll do like some giveaway stuff. So we need to, we'll work out what form that takes. And those of you who enjoy this series and watch it, you'll be able to hopefully win some cool Artist Opus stuff off the back of it. Which, again, I think, yeah, I'm I'm really happy that they're sponsoring this, because it makes a huge amount of sense. You guys know that I like the brushes. You guys know that I use the brushes because I'm using them. It's not exactly an out of the blue partnership. It's absolutely relevant to what we're doing. It's relevant to the hobby as a whole. And yeah, it's good. It is good. I'm super chuffed. I'm super happy. Let's get a bit more on here. This one unfortunately separated a little bit at one point, and it's never quite recovered. Okay, there we go. Just get that like that. Just want to get it right to the end. But I don't want to go over the top. I want to leave it more saturated down that center line, and then just have a little bit round the edge, blending into the purple, which I feel like that has worked there. So build up the first coat again. I'm aware it's fading to black at the edges, but that's okay again, because that's going to be I want to get like a nice, almost like pale sickly pink on like the like around the teeth, on like the gum section of these horrible throat mouth bits. So that'll extend round a little bit, because I feel like it should, right? I feel like it should extend round. It shouldn't just be that one section that's a bit pale. It should go round to the main part as well, just because of how gross this thing is overall. There should be a bit of overlap, so we'll make a bit of overlap. If I blend that into there like that, so that that's the same colour, do a bit on this side there. Okay, get that on there. There we go. Alright, yeah, that's looking, I think that's looking okay. Let's just get a bit more saturation down the central line of this one. Just really bring it out, trying to follow the line all the way through. Because I really want that central bit to be, like that central line following through it to be easy to follow and to match. Alright, that's coming along. I think that's coming along. So you've got that nice clear line between the pink and the purple there. That's just kind of fading in from one to the other. That needs to be blended in a bit more, so we'll see what we can do about that now. I just want to go over the top of it like that. Ah, and there, that's it. That's what I was going for. Nice. I love it when that happens. Just like, I'll try this. Oh, it works. And I think we need to do the legs as well, don't we, really? Just a little bit. Just add a little bit on there. Because I feel like it needs to have that contrast there too. And we'll do the same on this one. Okay, let's get a bit more. And there we go. You know, yeah, that's not. I think that's not bad. I think that's not bad. That's going okay. That is going okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's just see if I can get a decent shot of what we've done here. So extended the dark, like the dark blue and the lighter turquoise and the white down across the top of this leg to match that one. We've tidied up these edges, brought out the colour a little bit more on the strips down the side of the scales. Also done kind of more colour down these sides. Added the pink more consistently to the underside and the sides of the tail, which I think has worked pretty well. I think that's brought out the colour really nicely. We've done the purple on the back of the head there. Those plates are going to be interesting. Those plates, those are metal, aren't they? I don't know what to do about those. Well, let's try and do some sort of blended kind of non-metallic metal thing. That's that's ambitious, isn't it? That's not going to happen. Or whether to just follow that. I think I'll just follow that. To be honest, I think that would look better anyway. If that marking follows all the way up the top, I think that'll probably look better than any sort of shoddy non-metallic metal that I'd end up doing. The chains, of course, we'll have to do something metallic with. Otherwise it wouldn't look right. But we can do that easily enough, that's fine. Yeah, we've got the pink going on the underside of the mouth to there and there. Again, I think that's pretty decent progress. I think that's okay. It's been another good sort of 50 minutes. 45 to 50 minutes work there. And I think that's come out alright. Actually making pretty decent headway with this thing. I mean, it's a pretty big model. And there's going to be a lot of fiddly detail to look after, especially when we get to all these teeth. God, I'm not looking forward to that. But for something a bit different next time, I was wondering whether to do the wings. Because we've got them... Oh, shit, nearly had one of the wings on the floor then. So if I just shift that out of the way a little bit. So I already have the wings base coated. They've both been sprayed twice instead of once. And actually, base coating did remove a lot of the issues that I had in terms of mould lines, because the wings connect. In fact, you can probably... Yeah, you can just about see it. They connect, like, this section connects to that section. And there were some pretty hefty gaps, which I've managed to do... I've done alright with. I've managed to hide them okay. I'm not 100% happy with it, but... This one was the worst. There was a massive gap on the upper side. There was a pretty big gap there too, but I managed to hide the worst of it on these. It's a little bit more noticeable on that side, as you can see, where the wings are, like where I'm touching them there. There is still a bit of a gap, but it's not terrible. And to be fair, once the wings are actually on the dragon itself, so once they're in position, it's not going to be noticeable at all. So, yeah, it'll be okay. I'm thinking what I'll do is I will paint the wings up as, yeah, I'll paint them up, and then as they're done, we'll make sure that the rest of the dragon's done, and then we'll blend them in at the joins there. And the issue is, oh no, that's okay. There isn't really a gap there. It's fine. Yeah, we're going to have to paint the wings first, then we're going to have to glue them, and then we're going to have to blend them in, top and bottom. But that should be okay. It should be alright. Should be easy enough to match them. And even if we don't match them, it's not the end of the world, because we can just put fresh paint over the lot, so it's fine. So, yeah, that's where we were up to with the massive possessed dragon from Creaturecaster. Again, thank you very much to Artis Opus for sponsoring this video. There's a link in the description as to where you can get your Artis Opus stuff. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for the next one of these and all the videos in between. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.